The Presbyterian Church of South Sudan believes that access to education can help address the country's greater problems. Reversing the current trend, education would reduce poverty and disease, rebuild trust among people, establish equality in society, and increase participation in democratic processes. Therefore, the Church sees the provision of quality education that instills Christian values in South Sudanese children as a matter of urgency. In the South Sudanese context, pursuing an educational ministry is not only a pressing necessity, but also a great challenge for the Church. Years of conflict have left generations of citizens unschooled. 70% of teachers are untrained and unpaid for their services. There is a dramatic increase in the number of children aging out of the primary school range. Over half of the country's current primary and lower secondary school age children are not attending school. There is a high educational gender disparity among those who are enrolled, particularly in secondary schools. Because factors impeding education are interrelated, the Presbyterian Church of South Sudan partnered with the PCUSA to develop the Comprehensive South Sudan Education and Peacebuilding Project, or SSEPP. Through the project, we support the church's education department in building foundations at all levels to strengthen a child's potential to succeed. Thanks to the teacher training component of the SSEPP, we equip teachers not only with methodology and classroom management skills. They also learn how to provide psychosocial support to children and work within traumatized and conflicted communities. The teachers are further helped to understand the trauma they themselves have experienced, its impact on their teaching, and how to reduce it. The SSEPP offers scholarships to a church-related teacher training college and other training institutions for teachers holding the prerequisite secondary school certificate. For children to thrive and take advantage of the opportunity to learn, their environment must be safe and conducive to learning. Parents are called upon to embrace education as an extension of the home and partner with the school at every stage. The SSEPP brings together parents and the larger community, including civic, church, and traditional leaders, in parent council trainings and meetings. We journey with them in conflict resolution and walk with them as they prioritize educational goals and set agendas for action. To ensure continued success, we follow up with the parents' councils on the implementation and evaluation of their programs. Two key principles guide us in the SSEPP. We accompany people, not do it for them, and we work on invitation by the community to be a part of their journey. The most important constituent in any educational effort is the learner. What happens in the classroom as well as before and after school is of concern. Through the SSEPP, we try to provide every opportunity for learners of all ages to be all that God would have them to be. Quality teaching in a classroom that provides shelter from the sun, rain, and wind is just the starting point. We want to develop children's capacity and help them reduce their lifetime of traumatizing experiences. Trauma healing jamborees, after-school capacity building programs, and girls' empowerment gatherings are giving them the chance to share what is on their hearts, feel safe, be encouraged, and know that they are made in God's image. The Presbyterian Church of South Sudan understands that if peace is to prevail in the country, it is not by a decree of the government. The hearts and minds of citizens, along with opportunities, are the key components, all embedded in unceasing prayers. I witnessed this the day when Rebecca and her fellow scholarship recipients were making plans for traveling together to the teacher training college. Rebecca's nursing baby, who would join the group on their journey, was being passed from one pair of arms to another, with each of Rebecca's new classmates claiming ownership of the child and pledging to be a part of the village necessary to raise him. Forgotten were their different ethnic grouping and traumatized history. Instead, they looked toward the future as a group. For them, opportunity for all was the key. The opportunity to help shape South Sudan's future as teachers of the country's youngest generation. Thus, within the Presbyterian Church of South Sudan, building sustainable peace has become the work of every church leader and pew member. It is integrated into every area of ministry, from evangelism to civic responsibility and from trauma healing to subsistence farming. Through the South Sudan Education and Peacebuilding Project, we enable the church in this undertaking by providing facilitation and resource materials and by incorporating peace education into the project's overall program of activities.
This is the demonstration form for the school to teach our children, and also the teachers at the same time also participate in this. So we have a part of the teachers where the teachers come and do some clearing so that the students just watch and see them. They encourage them so that they will know that it is a part of education also. It's not for those who are not well educated and those who are in the village.
Most of them, they don't know how to farm because during those days, the time they have grown up, people were in the wars and they could not be able to farm. People are running up and down. They were not even being trained at that movement. Then the only solution for them to go to run to the other country for in a refugees or to go and mine like in another area.
Here in church, we find that there is a gap, which is we need really to fill it in the community. Because if the community are not feeding themselves, it means that there is no future. So always we will be depending on emergency support. Here actually are not one tribe who are learning in this school. We have some Denka, we have J who are also learning from this school. So when we bring people from Murle, we bring people from J, we bring people from Kashipo and be integrated in this school, people, they will learn peace, how people live together. People also will depend on cultivation, not on cattle only. And also people will be able to live harmony together and live in town. So this actually in the future will be one of the center that can bring all those communities in one place. That is the hope, that idea of South Sudan Peace Education Program. That really is something that brings people together.